Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Movie Night Roundtable Live. It is me, Dalton Burdett, and my partner in crime, Nick Iricchio. Nick, how are you, buddy?
What's up? I am doing fantastic. How are you?
I see
Hey,
what you did there. I'm
topical.
doing topical. I'm doing good as well. I'm very excited to dive into the topics that we have set up for today. The show was on Tuesday today because yesterday we found out that the trailer for Fantastic Four was coming today, and why wait till Friday to talk about it when we could just push the show one day? This beginning of the week show we'll kind of play hopscotch with Monday or Tuesday depending on what's more convenient for everyone. But either way, super exciting stuff to get into. But before we get into the Fantastic Four trailer, Nicholas,
Yes.
there's another trailer that I want to talk about. That I want to talk about badly. And that trailer is for Final Destination Bloodlines, baby. As you can see on the screen here, I got the poster up, which I personally love. Guys, ever since we found out that there was going to be a new Final Destination movie, I have been so excited for it. And the trailer, just the tangibleness of it being real and us getting a new movie. And basically, the trailer is just an extended sequence from the movie, or maybe it's just for the trailer, who knows? But man, I don't know what it says about me as a person, but seeing someone that you know is about to die and you see all of the random ass circumstances surrounding it where like things are getting knocked over, fans are going, and specifically in this trailer, when the chain gets on like his nose ring, I literally was cringing. I was like, oh God. And I loved every second of it. I cannot wait for this. Way back when we first reported on the movie happening, we know that the late Tony Todd did film scenes in it before he passed away. So I'm excited to see him one last time. Nick, I know you're not the world's biggest Final Destination fan. I still have to make you finish the series after making you watch the first one, which we will do, whether it's with your will or not. But regardless, what did you think of this trailer, and did you have any excitement for this movie at all?
Yeah, it was really eerie. For those that have been watching for a long time, we talked about how the directors originally like pitched their Final Destination with like a pre-video of a bunch of stuff happening, specifically centered around a fan. So I think it makes sense that this one was starting with a fan specifically. But yeah, I mean, I don't dislike the franchise. I just haven't seen a lot of it, to be honest with you. But what I will say in terms of just my personal excitement for the movie, looking back on some of the kills, yeah, there's like some shock, some like eeriness to some of them, but the like cringe and tension that this trailer induced in me, I feel like was far more than any of the previous movies. And this is just the teaser
Mm.
trailer. So, I mean, if that's really any indication of what they have coming up, I think we're in for something that's going to be a lot of fun. And again, I could even just see that being something just for the trailer that they release, not necessarily a part of the movie, like you said.
Yeah, and kind of a testament to what you said about like, you're not even that hugely familiar with the franchise. You don't hate it, but like that
Mhm.
one sequence giving you a lot of tension more than you felt in the original
Yep.
movie. I think something with that is we're now at a point where the filmmakers making these films kind of grew up with the originals. So
Mhm.
they're being made by fans who probably have like really fresh perspectives as to what the story is going to be. Because the film is called Bloodlines and it has a great tagline of death runs in the family. So I'm wondering if that's going to have something to do with it. And this is just my brain. I haven't read any synopsis or anything. But like if it revolves around like, because you know how the people in these movies who survive were supposed to have died. And if those people had kids, those kids technically should never exist because they were supposed to die. So, like, is death going after those kids? Like, that's
Oh,
an
because this
interesting.
one starts with like a father passes away or something. Maybe it's a unseen father of an original cast member.
Maybe I'm
That
I'm
would be
very
cool.
curious about that.
Neat.
That's just something I just pulled just from looking at the poster and everything. I thought it would be
Mhm.
interesting. But, by the way, Final Destination 5 rules, and I'm really excited for you to get to that one. The fifth one is awesome. And but the thing that's crazy is the fourth one is so bad. So like you have to get through like the worst one to earn like the best one. Like it's so fourth one is so
Mhm.
unequivocally bad. But guys, what did you think of the Final Destination's Bloodlines trailer? Are you excited for it? Do you not care? Is it something that piqued your interest? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our next story. And Nicholas, this next story is also a new trailer, and this is the trailer that everybody's here to see. We're talking about the trailer for the Fantastic Four: The First Steps. I still hate the subtitle, The First Steps, but it's fine. I'll take it because Nicholas, my God, I love this trailer. I love this trailer so much. And I think that just the vibes themselves, like the moment it opened and you see like the retro futuristic New York that they're going for, it so captured, like it scratched my brain, like if that makes sense, of like, oh yes, like I've been waiting for this, like this is what we wanted. Matt Shackman was the guy. And just seeing it all really, it got me really excited. And I was fortunate enough to be in Hall H at Comic-Con last year, where I got to see some footage, but the footage we saw is the footage in the trailer that people see on TVs, like them as the astronauts, them like, that whole like stylized footage is what we saw at Comic-Con. So my crazy dog is going off. But being able to see all of that in this new trailer context was really special. And I think the movie looks, pun intended, fantastic. And before we get into our breakdown here, give me your kind of general thoughts on the trailer.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really dug the vibe. I think that John Watts as a director is hit or miss for me. I enjoyed the Spider-Man movies, but I wouldn't say necessarily has a lot of flair as a director, a unique voice and style. So I think it was great that Matt Shackman took over as director for this, and that idea of a retro futuristic Fantastic Four and a Fantastic Four that aren't even in the main MCU timeline, I think is very interesting. I think it's going to make it accessible to a wider audience as well. On top of that, and I think it's going to be, I don't know, it just looks cool. I thought the animation on the thing, which we'll get into, was very good personally. But I dig the retro futuristic vibes. As for story, again, this was a teaser, so we didn't get a whole lot. I'll be interested to see where they go. Well, Dalton, you might be muted. At least you're muted on my end.
Ah, there we go. I guess it just now unmuted me. Sorry if I was unmuted for a while there, guys. Let me see here. I muted because of the dog and then forgot to go back.
You're good.
It'd be like that. All right, muting this. So immediately in this first shot, you get exactly what we were talking about with the retro futuristic New York, the 60s style aesthetic going in. These costumes look great. I imagine that Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby are many people's dream threesome. May or may not be myself included. They look fantastic as the characters. I love like the mild transatlantic accent that Pedro Pascal is doing. It's really, really
I like
interesting.
the cool Marvel logo personally.
Yes, look at this shot of the Baxter building. Oh, big fan. Big fan of how it looks. Herbie the robot, which by the way, we didn't get to hear Herbie speak, which I thought was kind of interesting. I don't know if it's going to be like that the whole time or if they're just hiding the voice, but I thought that this whole sequence with the Thing was excellent. And
I think Herbie's definitely Natasha Lyonne. She's cast in the movie. I think that's where we're heading.
Yes, but the Thing says, "Isn't this guy great?" So I don't, maybe it could be taken from somewhere else, but that's, I like how
you cannot get Cousin out of the kitchen and got the bear going on in here.
Nope, they already had the memes. They already had the memes. By the way, this shot of Mr. Fantastic at the chalkboard, if you look right here, oh, my cursor's not on the thing, that's funny, but right over his shoulder, like right in the shadows, something that I saw pointed out online, this is actually a multiverse bridge that he's working on, or a multiverse tunnel, excuse me. So, the big theory is that they're going to make their way over to the 616 before everything, goes to shit, maybe even with Doctor Doom, and, it's kind of laying the groundwork for that right there. This footage right here is what I saw at Comic-Con, these footage of them as astronauts and all this stuff. You get, dude, her disappearing like this looks great, I think, personally. This
so sad too. I mean, immediately you're getting the connection with these characters.
Yes,
especially with what you have now with the Thing in a trench coat.
Yeah, and his getup obviously is taken straight from the comic. We also saw this getup in previous Fantastic Four movies. And this shot of him watching himself on TV and then the reflection going to him is chef's kiss. Amazing. This transformation to Johnny's fantastic, and it even leaves like dust and stuff on the camera, which I thought was a really nice touch.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, like here, I'll go back a little bit. Like it leaves like almost like burn residue on the camera when he takes off.
And I'll say it. I think he's a great cast for Johnny Storm, and the internet seems to disagree since his casting announcement. I've been pro it the entire time.
I've always been pro Joseph Quinn the entire time, and we've gone on ad nauseum on the show about like what are people's deal? What's the deal with that? And he's constantly proven in other projects that he's an amazing actor. I don't get it. We got some, just Johnny there. I also like when Sue Storm says that Ben was always a rock. I thought was funny. The bioluminescence looks great. You see the little rainbows there. She's also serving cunt in this, as in terms of the look, which you need sometimes. Sometimes, as a superhero, you got to serve some cunt. I don't make the rules. You got a good kiss from them. This shot right here, I want this on a frame in my house. Look at that thing. That looks gorgeous.
So here's my question, just from looking at it. So is it he goes back to like with this scene, is he just turning off his flames? Is that what we think?
I think it's either that.
Can he just fly without the flames?
I know. I think it's that, or it got so cold that it just shut
burned
off
out or something. Okay.
Yeah, because
I was confused on that for a minute.
The next shot, he's kind of like, oh shit. So I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's... Now, I don't know what this is. This I've been looking at and trying to figure out what it is. I'm sure there are a lot more smarter Easter egg people looking at this, figuring it out. But this, I thought, could it be an attack from somebody? It doesn't seem very Galactus-y. So I'm very curious as to what that is. Maybe Doom related. I like how the Fantastic are. Yep, and you also have their well-established celebrities in this world. This shot is awesome. That's awesome. John Malkovich probably playing.
Goat, John Malkovich.
Yes, he's probably playing the Red. Oh my God, what's that villain's name?
Red Ghost, Iron Crab.
Red Ghost.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the comics, he basically just wants to prove himself as a scientist as well, and wants to recreate essentially the event that led to the Fantastic Four's creation. I believe in some comics he also has like 3 monkeys that he brings with him to show his superior intellect that he could do it himself. But there could be some super monkeys running around, or he could not be playing that. But here's the thing. I believe Ivan Kravinov, just based off the name, is probably very clearly Russian. So I really hope that John Malkovich brings back his awful Rounders Russian accent of like the hey, this man is money.
I would like that.
That would make me happy.
This is another kick-ass shot of Galactus' shadow over New York, and I like how in the front part of the frame you can see the futuristic building still there. It looks...
Nosferatu did that.
Yes. This shot's also great. The texture on the back of Galactus looks amazing. It's such a good shot. At Comic-Con, I actually got to see his eyes as he looked into a building, which was very cool.
Did you see the meme someone did online where they just flipped it upside down and said the Brutalist, Brady Corbett, the director's Fantastic Four?
That's so funny. And of course, you get the Beatles shot. Oh, come on, come back.
Gotta have our Fab Four.
Yes. And this is clearly like some sort of photo shoot or something they're doing in this universe. But man, the outfits look good. I think the trailer looks great. And then there's that stupid subtitle that comes in, but that's fine. Yeah, this is a vibe. This is an all-around vibe that I'm stoked about. And, I think that it's interesting we didn't see Mr. Fantastic's powers on display. But I also think that there could be a plethora of reasons for that. One, maybe it just didn't fit with the type of teaser they were doing. Two, maybe those effects aren't ready yet, because those are very difficult effects, like the stretchy effects. We also didn't get to see Silver Surfer at all, but we know that they're in the movie. We got a lot going on, Nicholas, a lot going on. But I, for one, am absolutely stoked about it, and I cannot wait. Do you have any final thoughts before I kind of break down into what we know about the movie so far on the trailer?
I mean, no, I mean, I thought it was a very interesting trailer. I again, like I said at the top of the show, I'm excited for the vibe that they're going with. I personally am a fan of all of the casting for the movie and that dynamic and getting that correct. But I mean, like overall, honestly, like I hate to say it, Superman comes out that same month, and I think I'm more excited for that. And I'm not even a big Superman fan, and I don't know if that's just because the Fantastic Four have done me dirty so many times in the past that it's just hard to get excited about. But I mean, this trailer did a good job of getting me, interested in the film more so that Matt Shackman, the futuristic vibe, at least they're trying to do something different, which I appreciate.
Yeah, and listen, Superman does come out 2 weeks before this. All that means to me is I'm gonna have a hell of a fucking month at the movies, brother. After I see Superman probably twice and I see this probably twice, if they're both still playing in theaters around my birthday, we are double featuring the fuck out of that. Are you kidding me? Are you joking? Yes, 100%. But yeah, we have a few more things to dive into with this trailer. Let me kind of pull it up over here for everyone. Before I do that, though, we do have a comment in the live chat from Lion Main Man. Hello, welcome back. This movie looks like every other Marvel movie. I don't understand why people are excited for this. Well, I'm sad that the trailer didn't work for you. I do have to personally disagree. I think that it looks entirely different, and I even think that other filmmakers could see. Now, granted, this is just a trailer. The movie could be garbage. But if this film works, I think other filmmakers could look at this and go, oh, they're letting people tell stories outside the world. That could attract other people to go and want to make those stories. Because I feel like after Secret Wars, I don't know this, but after Secret Wars, they're going to be tying in stories a little bit less, I think. And that's going to be really attractive to people who want to come play in this world and not have to worry about like being tied directly to other stories. So it could be fun. And from the look of it, I think just the cinematography and editing alone of the trailer felt different to me. But what were you going to say, Nick?
I mean, just also on top of that, I mean, I don't disagree, but like it is part of a interconnected universe. So I think that you do want that sort of same tone throughout, ideally. Now, granted, has there been a dip in Marvel quality? I would also say yes, as
Mm-hmm.
of late. But looking forward to Fantastic Four, to Thunderbolts, like I am excited for these movies coming out. But I wouldn't be surprised if it does become just like every other Marvel movie. Not that it's bad or anything, but I think when you have a talented filmmaker such as like Matt Shackman is doing here, look at Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That was pretty much just every other Marvel movie as well. But Sam Raimi has such a distinct voice from a directing standpoint that it did at least look visually and feel a little bit different while still fitting in that universe as a whole. So I
Yeah,
could
and
see something similar happening here.
yeah, I mean, there is a sort of general tone that is similar across a lot of the projects, but I think Marvel's also getting better at distinguishing what characters deserve differences. Like, if you watch this trailer and you watch Daredevil Born Again, the trailer, you're going to be like, oh, these are connected somehow. And it's like, it
Hmm.
doesn't feel like it at all. But, there's obviously going to be some sort of interconnectivity through the tone because you have to be kind of four quadrant. But I think that distinctively, like this trailer, when I watched the trailer, I didn't think about like other Marvel movies. I just thought, oh, I'm excited to watch this. Like that was just
Hmm.
the first kind of thing that came up to me. But let's dive back into what we know so far about this film. It's directed by Matt Shackman, who also directed WandaVision. He also directed incredible episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It stars Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ebon Moss-Bachrach in his second MCU character. And the plot of the film that we know of as of right now is against the backdrop of a 1960s inspired retrofuturistic world. Marvel's first family is forced to balance their roles as heroes with the strength of their family bond while defending Earth from a space god called Galactus and his enigmatic, Herald, Silver Surfer. I promise I can read, despite what it may seem. But something else that came out today is they released an official synopsis, which is pretty much the same as this, except at the end it says, and if Galactus trying to eat their planet was bad enough, it suddenly gets very personal. And I'm wondering what that means, because there's a number of comic book things that could mean, but
Hmm.
I'm curious as to what that would mean for them. God damn it, Nicholas. This is genius. Here's the thing. Nick makes these PowerPoints and sometimes tells me, like, hey, you'll pretty much know the rundown. You don't have to look at it. You motherfucker. This is good. I can't even be upset. I can't even be upset.
I do hit him with this joke quite often before the trailer. So
Yes.
just in general in life, even before this movie was announced. So it just felt fitting to have it here. And again, just to point out, I think that the animation, the CGI, the effects look fantastic. It
Yeah.
looks almost like a blend of like kind of like almost stop motiony at
Yeah.
times, and that could just
Hmm.
be that the CGI is not refined yet. There's still a little time for the trailer, but I think that Eben Moss is a terrific actor. He's fantastic on the Bear. He was fantastic on the Punisher as Micro, which is the other Marvel
Hmm.
role you were referencing there.
Yep.
And I think he's perfect to bring that sort of pathos to. Is it pathos? Ethos? What's the emotion one? He's gonna bring the emotionality that the
I
character
think it's
needs.
pathos. Man, you're pulling out $50 words, man. Good job. It's been a while since I've taken a writing class. But I also love his. This is my version of film school. Look at his big ass eyebrow. I'm a big fan.
Straight from the comics.
Big fan of that.
I mean, it looks really good, but isn't there something just a little nostalgic about Michael Chiklis's practical suit?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I know those
yeah.
movies aren't great, but there is a little like you do kind of miss that a little bit.
Oh yeah, and I also want to point out someone in the live chat. Dude, I can't read. I need glasses. Colonel Cadmium. I'm not helping the argument that I can read. Says Fantastic Four. This time it's personal. The famous callback to the Jaws the Revenge tagline. My God, I could make a 3-hour video about Jaws the Revenge. It's such a staple in film history. But moving on to other things related to this trailer, we also got first look posters. These are stirring up some controversy online, Nicholas. They got accused of being
controversy with them. I just thought they weren't good.
Well, they got accused of being AI because it looks like in some of the photos here, like some people only have 4 fingers, like things don't look quite right. But Marvel has officially released a statement denying any and all use of AI in the creation of the posters. So if you take it at face value, they did not, but I could definitely see why people thought that, as they do seem a bit off.
Mm-hmm.
For like fun marketing stuff, I think they're fine, but if I saw one of these hanging up in a movie theater, I'd be like, why? I don't want to see this in a movie theater. Just give me a better poster with the actual cast, So
Well, I think it's
that's
like
kind
that,
of my thoughts on it.
it's kind of like a lot of like you almost have to know too. Like if anyone saw this that wasn't like knowing that it's in a different universe or that they're already established heroes, like I think that this is sort of a lot that's happening. And as this being the first marketing thing, the whole go prepare for launch thing, it's cute. They're astronauts, but I don't know if it just didn't work for me. I don't know. I also just think they're bad looking posters.
Hey, listen, and that's fair. That is fair indeed.
I do like that in the second one of them in the boxcar, there is a Beetle or a Herbie fully loaded. And Herbie is the name of their robot.
You know what? Nice.
And I do appreciate that the little girl's holding the Thing doll. I think that that's a big part of the character is, and it's similar to the Hulk in a way, right? This monster, but the kids adore him, and that kind of brings him back a little bit. I think that's important.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know about the AI allegations. I kind of get it.
Yeah, no, same.
Yeah, not actually looking at them. But I just don't think they hit the mark just from a marketing standpoint. Just give me an actual floating head poster, if you will.
I'm with you. I'm with you there. I also want to point out, last thing, and then we'll move on to our next story. I really like that they didn't change the Thing's voice, and that he kept the same voice. That I like a lot, because each time in previous iterations, they've slightly modulated, or the actors slightly perform the voice differently. And while it's understandable, I think having it be the same voice is going to be, to me, it's part of the story of like, he's just trying to tell people that he's the same guy, and mm-hmm. I think, you could get something really interesting with that. But guys, those were our thoughts on the Fantastic Four First Steps official trailer that has come out today. Now we're going to move on to our next story, Nicholas, and this one actually came as a bit of a surprise to me. It's not one that I was expecting to see, but it's still very cool nonetheless. Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a massive television show when it first aired. It even had spin-offs such as the Angel series. It started off as a bad movie, became a fantastic TV show, and I've never religiously watched it from start to finish, but I've watched episodes of it because I used to watch Smallville, and at the time they would have reruns of Buffy. I think they did reruns of Buffy on CW. I could be wrong, but I definitely saw reruns of Buffy before, and then like my dad would walk in and be like, "Oh, Buffy, like this is a good show," and I'd be like, "Oh, okay, like great." And so I've seen episodes of it as a kid, but I've always wanted to kind of take the journey and dive into this because I've heard the show's fantastic, and it has its place in television culture forever. And with that being said, though, we have some great news about Buffy, Nicholas. They are officially doing a reboot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer with Sarah Michelle Gellar returning in the titular role. This is a big, big day for Buffy fans. This is so random. One of the biggest Buffy fans that I know personally is my chemistry teacher in high school. He had a poster of Sarah Michelle Gellar like on his wall, and he would like when he would try to explain chemistry to us, he would try to tie it into like Buffy somehow, and it was endearing. Like it was like, oh, he's a big fan of the show, but sometimes he'd be like, dude, I don't even understand anything about chemistry. Tying it to Buffy is not going to help me. And I always just thought that was just a funny thing that he did. But going back into it here, Sarah Michelle Gellar is expected to return. Like I said, it's coming for Hulu, which I find interesting. I know that the original show bumped from different studios and networks, I believe. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the live chat about that. Chloe Zhao, who directed Nomadland and Eternals, is going to direct a pilot episode, which I think is very cool. I love that she got that Oscar, she got that Marvel money, and now she's like, I'm going to make whatever I want to make, and damn it, I want to make Buffy. And clearly she's interested in this type of story, because I believe at one point she was going to make a Dracula film if she's not working on it anymore. She might still be working on it. Did I dream that, or was that right?
No, I remember that. She saw Nosferatu and got scared and pivoted to Buffy.
Oh man, no, I'm sure whatever it was just fell off, but that is funny. I also got scared watching Nosferatu, but it wasn't of the movie. It was that I got scared that Aaron Taylor Johnson and Nicholas Hoult were going to steal my girlfriend. But the last bullet point here that's very important. Joss Whedon has no involvement in the reboot, and he has not worked in the Hollywood industry in any official capacity since the misconduct allegations in 2021. And what's interesting about that, and we covered that as nauseam. By the way, the source is Deadline. I don't need to click the link because, Nick, these bullet points pretty much cleared it, and you did a great job. But kind of going back to talking about Joss Whedon, what's interesting about that is when those allegations first started coming out, especially post-Justice League, it was specifically the Buffy cast and crew that came out and were like, yeah, he's been kind of a piece of shit for this long. And we're telling like horrific stories about what he would do on the set of Buffy. I forget the performer's name, but like at one point, somebody was really like almost like really pregnant, and Joss Whedon was complaining to I'm paraphrasing here, but you can go find the real story, but Joss Whedon was basically complaining like, what am I supposed to do now? You really put me in a tight spot here. Are you sure you want to keep it? I'm pretty sure he said, are you sure you want to keep it? Which is just awful shit to say to somebody. And I think that, I'm sure a lot of people are happy that he's not involved because it kind of gives them, they can separate more art from the artist from this thing that they really like without having it to be made by the person that they no longer like. It kind of like right now, the Neil Gaiman situation's crazy. I don't know if you've read the allegations against him. Woof. Sandman got canceled, and they were like, we were always going to. Sure you were. And, I feel like that's going to be another situation where people are going to find it hard to dive into his stories just because of how awful the allegations are. Now, granted, the two allegations are not similar. They're very, very different between Whedon and Gaiman. I was just using it as a comparison. But I find this really interesting. Will Joss Whedon probably still get paid because he created the show and he gets residuals? Yeah. But, I think as long as he's not there creatively, people will be able to give it a chance who had a hard time separating art from artist. And new fans, it wouldn't even matter because this is something that they're going to be diving into for the first time anyway. So I've rambled for so long at this point about this. Nicholas, give me your thoughts on the Buffy reboot. Do you think it could be successful? And, what's your level of excitement hearing this?
Yeah, I mean, I watched a little bit of, I think I watched sporadically here. I think just a few episodes of the first season, but I'm a big Sarah Michelle Gellar fan, and I think the character was really interesting from what I saw. So I am excited about the concept of it, especially if they're bringing her back. And Chloe Zhao is a fantastic director. Eternals wasn't my favorite, but I wouldn't put that as a knock on the direction specifically, you know? So I think that concept is exciting here. And just to bring it in, we had a flurry of comments in the live chat here.
Ooh,
Kylixer said, one, bringing it back. If there isn't a Fant Four Stick ad, he's gonna die. A reference to the really bad reboot starring Miles Teller. Buffy's so good, so we have another Buffy fan. Angel's a great spinoff too, to be honest. I never
yep.
watched Angel's spinoff, but I liked the character from what I saw on the Buffy show.
Hmm.
Colonel Cadmium says Buffy this time it's personal, a callback to their
I'm
previous
loving this
comment,
bit.
which is also a callback to Jaws 3.
Do this bit.
Uh,
Jaws 4, excuse
Jaws
you, but
4,
do this bit
sorry.
all the time.
And then Kylixer said, "Is it a reboot or a continuation?" It seems like it's a continuation. I think the article
Yeah,
calls it the next chapter in the Buffy universe.
yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if it's like a Buffy comes in as the new mentor type character, maybe, as opposed to focusing it on her. I don't know. How long is the show? Just a few episodes for the fun of it. Longer multi-season. Anyone else coming back? At this time, it
Ooh,
has a pilot order and Sarah
yes.
Michelle Gellar, and that
Yes,
is
and
it.
that's interesting to point out, Nicholas, and it's something that's
Yeah.
important to also say. They're kind of going old school TV with this, in that they're
They
just
are.
ordering a pilot to see, can this be successful? Is this good? Which I think, in a world of like a lot of things flopping and overspending, I think this is a good idea of, hey, we want to commit to making this Buffy thing. We have great talent involved, but if it sucks, I don't want to waste my money. So they're going to
Mhm.
do this pilot, and if the execs love the pilot, they're going to get a series order, and then they'll continue from there, which is something you saw all the time. This is not something you see anymore for streaming, especially. I find that really fascinating for a streaming show, and I wonder if they do put in the money for the pilot and they don't like it, do they rework it to a TV movie, or do they just scrap it like HBO did that other Game of Thrones spinoff? I think that's a very interesting avenue to go down, because this is not
Well,
something you see anymore, especially for Hulu.
no, absolutely. It'd be interesting too. I mean, if they'll let them shop it around, if it's something that they feel passionate about, but Hulu's not confident in. I'd be interested to see if another network or streaming service would pick it up with that. I mean, Chloe Zhao's not a small name in Hollywood.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that
Not
said,
at all.
a Scrubs season 9. Yeah, or it's a
Man,
bad
don't
idea.
don't put Scrubs season nine's name on this. Come on.
There's a ninth season of Scrubs. Or it's a bad idea. Give me a new show with 22 episodes every year for 5 years at least. Tired of the Stranger Things treatment. That's fair. There is something nostalgic about just pumping out 22 episodes of, I think it allows for a lot more quality fluctuation. Not to say that quality dips dramatically here, but I think you become more forgiving if, 6 episodes or something out of a 22 episode series aren't great. You'd be like, those were kind of filler episodes or they were whatever. I mean, look at pretty much every season of The Walking Dead, right? It's what, 6 okay episodes, 2 not great episodes, 3 pretty solid episodes, and like 2 great episodes.
Yeah.
Versus, you're walking it out, and what happens if Stranger Things season 5 comes out, right? You're getting 8 episodes. What if 4 is shit? It's a numbers game, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, and going back to what Kylixer said of wanting like the 22 episodes,
Mhm.
you might get it. The pilot order, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get 22 episodes. I don't know what their plan is, but with ads now being a part of streaming, especially when you have like the Percy Jackson show that literally edited the show for ads, with a show like Buffy that where the audience is already accustomed to it being written, shot like that, and having longer episodes, you could see it after they do the pilot. They could order 22 episodes. You never know. It's just all going to depend on budget and everything like that. Now, do I think they're going to give it 22 episodes? Probably not, just because it's not the landscape anymore. But just because you're getting a pilot order or pilot and then a series, it could be an infinite number of episodes that they order. There's no set really thing for that.
He says, I don't need every episode to be crazy plot heavy. Give me some character development and bottle episodes. Just be a good writer.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
that's
I
fair. I
mean,
mean, character development
it's
should be the emphasis on every show.
yes, no, I love
I love a bottle episode,
filmmaking.
to be honest with you. Some of my favorite episodes of TV are bottle
Yeah,
episodes.
I'm a huge defender of The Fly on Breaking Bad. By the way, I love that
Oh,
episode.
it's a great episode.
Dude, people hate
Peop
that episode. I think people are
Really?
nuts. Dude, yeah, very common thing is people hate that episode. I love it. I think it's
I,
great.
I I enjoyed that episode as well.
Yeah, and filmmaking is and television, it's a fun little area where it's the only really job where people constantly be like, "Hey, I would like for you to change your industry and do your job differently." And it's like, "Thank you very much. I'll get right on that." Like imagine like, you're working at a desk as like a marketing agent and someone tweets you and says, "You're bad at marketing." And you're like, "Do you work in marketing?" And they're like, "No." And it's like, "All right, well, like I'm doing really good in my industry. I'm getting accolades. I make a good salary. Like how am I bad at marketing?" And it's like, "Because I think you are, and I'm the fan." And it's just like no other job has that, which I find interesting. And just like, I'm sure I know a lot of television writers who would love to go back to 22 episodes a season because then they get employment and health insurance and benefits, and there's a lot of great things about that. I think the only downside to trying to do that now would be they shrunk the writers' room so badly pre-strike that I don't know how many trained writers are at the talent level to fill a writer's room for 22 episodes. I think with the deal they made post-strikes, you could start now and get new talent, but it might take a while. It really might take a while. I would love to see it come back, but especially if they're all good. Like if you get 22 episodes and only 10 are good, oh my God, what a nightmare. Like that's terrible.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first like 15 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? What a nightmare. And then from there on, it was fantastic.
Then they tied into Winter Soldier, and it was great.
and it was great from there on out. I think the fourth and fifth seasons are phenomenal, personally.
Was that the like robot ones? The what do they call them? The clones?
The LMDs
LMDs? Is it that
and
one?
the Ghost Rider season. Yeah,
Oh, that was a good season. That was a good season.
yeah. All right, guys. What do you guys? We got a little off topic. What do you guys think of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot coming? Are you excited? Are you going to give it a shot? Please let us know in the comments as we move on to the box office.
The box office.
I'm going to pull up our predictions from last week, Nicholas.
Please do.
I predicted Dogman number 1, Companion number 2, Flight Risk number 3, One of Them Days number 4, Mufasa the Lion King number 5. You predicted Companion number 1, Mufasa the Lion King number 2, Dogman number 3, One of Them Days number 4, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, number 5. While overall we were both wrong, and the thing surprising nobody, we did, however, get a lot of the placements correct on separate occasions. So I will now pull up the amazing box office results if my computer allows me to be cool for a second. There
While
we
you're
go.
pulling that up, Colonel Cadmium says they did not see any of these movies. One of Them Days is fine. Companion's also fine. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 might be my favorite of the bunch of what I've seen. I don't know what your take is on that, Dalton.
For me, I agree with you. One of Them Days is fine. It is very funny though. If you just want like a funny movie to turn off your
It
brain,
is very funny. It is very funny.
I liked Companion a little bit more than you did. I would say that was probably my favorite of the bunch. I have not seen Dogman, but I also have no desire to see Dogman personally. And Mufasa the Lion King was better than the 2019 one. If that means anything to you. To what degree is up to you. But I now have the actual box office results pulled up. Let's go ahead and dive in here. Dogman did come in number 1, making... Oh, hold on. That's the daily chart. Where's the weekend chart? Here we go. Dogman came in number 1, making $36 million in its opening weekend. Companion came in second, making $9 million in its opening weekend. And by the way, Nick, did you know that the budget for Companion was $10 million?
Really? That's pretty solid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's pretty good, actually. I would have put it in the 20s, maybe. Nah,
Yeah.
actually, no, that seems... I don't know. Yeah, like 10 seems on the low end, but I would have probably said like 10 to 20, just not at that spectrum.
I will still always be fascinated how Invisible Man was made for like 7. That blows my mind. Mufasa the Lion King comes in third place. Still hanging in there, only dropping 27% from week 6 to week 7, making $6.3 million. One of Them Days came in fourth. It's still holding. Only dropped 27% from week 2 to week 3, making another $5.8 million. Good for that movie. And Flight Risk actually came in fifth, dropping 53% from week 1 to week 2, making $5.4 million. Sonic the Hedgehog just missed out in sixth place. Let's dive into these a little bit more here, shall we? Let's see, what do we want first? Dogman has made $41 million worldwide on a budget of 40, so it's already made that production budget back. Its profitability will be determined by how well it can hold as it goes forward. Hopefully it can have a nice hold, get into the 2.5, 3 times that budget range and make some money. That would be nice. Again, I probably will not see this. Companion has made $15 million worldwide, already made more than that $10 million budget. It's at 1.5. I think with the interesting word of mouth that this movie is generating and very, very high critic scores, I think this will hold the box office quite well, at least until Captain America comes out. And, even with that, though, this is good counter-programming, this and Hard Eyes, which opens this weekend, for Captain America in the following week. So I could see this staying in the top 5 for quite some time, actually. That would be interesting. Mufasa the Lion King has $653 million worldwide, 230 of it being domestic. It's made 3.3 times that budget. Mufasa has made money, guys. Mufasa is profitable. I don't know why I sang it like that. One of Them Days now has $34 million and it's only open domestically. It has officially hit the 2.5 mark of the $14 million budget. And with how little marketing there was, I'd be surprised if it's not profitable by now. And that 2.5 mark is about where you need to hit to start seeing it. And I think they're already profitable. Good for them. I hope it gets to make even more money and even open in other markets as well. Flight Risk has made $25 million worldwide on a budget of 25, so it's at exactly the budget amount, essentially, in its second week. I don't foresee it becoming profitable theatrically. It's probably just going to keep falling. But, you can't win them all, but you certainly can lose them all. It's a very important lesson, kids. Let's see what else we got. We know Moana's passed $1 billion. Let's dive into Sonic 3. Why not?
Let's do it.
$462 million worldwide on a budget of 122, 3.8, and it's at 230. That Mufasa about made the same domestically now. That's kind of surprising. But hey, good for Sonic. Let's go back here. If it reads. There we go. Yeah. Lastly, let's look at Presents one more time, because that movie was made for $0. All right, so it's made $6 million worldwide, and you're thinking, oh no, what a disaster. Well, it made 3.3 times its budget. They're doing fine. They're doing fine over there.
Steven Soderbergh just said, I'm just going to make the movies profitable. I don't care how much that is.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, we're going to predict the box office top 5 for next week. But before that, it looks like we got some additional live comments. Do you want to take care of these for me, buddy?
Sure. Going back, Alex said, where's Annie's pen? That is a bottle episode of Community, which is one of their best episodes. And I agree, a great bottle episode. Also, another great bottle episode is the one of Brooklyn Nine-Nine with Sterling K. Brown as the dentist, where they're interrogating the whole time. I thought that was a great one as well. Sitcoms, always with great bottle episodes. Colonel Cadmium says, Breaking Bad, ! I agree, and will counter with Better Call Saul, !
Yes. Better Call Saul's
didn't
fantastic.
see a one we talked about. Luis Cavallo said, are you going to watch You're Cordially Invited on Prime yet? Would love your thoughts on it. Not yet, but I absolutely love Will Ferrell, so I will be watching that soon.
And funny enough, I actually got, I think you got it too, we got a press invite to go watch it in a movie theater, which was really exciting, but I had something come up like 6 hours before the screening that I couldn't commit to going. But Amazon has been very, very nice in sending their screeners theatrically. I'm a big fan of that. I got to see The Idea of You theatrically, which I really enjoyed seeing. So I also have not seen the movie yet, but if we do watch it, we'll happily talk about it on the channel for you.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And then Colonel Cadmium says, those darn kids, LOL.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably in reference to Dogman.
Oh, probably. Part
Hey,
man,
listen,
part dog. Okay, did you know what I learned the other day about Dogman?
please
Do you
tell
know
me, and I'm giving you
do
a
you know
single.
what it do you know what it is? It's a spin-off of the Captain Underpants universe.
Yeah, I knew that.
I didn't know that. It's a comic the kids make. It's a
Yeah.
dog and a policeman that both blow up in a bomb accident, and they fuse them together, and it's just a that's so meta for a kids movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, that got me more excited to watch it than anything. I'm not going to, but
Listen, you know,
Dogman.
everyone watching, if this channel blows up to the point where popularity, where we have to watch everything, I can make him go watch stuff like this. So if you want to see him watch Dogman, you just got to give us the views and the subscriptions and the likes, guys. That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
It really
By the way,
does.
speaking of that, we are less than 100 subscribers away from 5,000. If you could please subscribe and like the video so that we can get a bigger reach to more people, that would be amazing. And before we go, as promised, we are going to predict next week's box office. Nick, do you want to go first?
Oh man, what do we have coming out this week? We have Love Hurts.
Hard Eyes.
No, Hard Eyes. Love Hurts is
No, Love
Love
Hurts. They
Hurts is
both come
this
out.
week. Love Hurts, Hard Eyes. I'm Still Here. Is that going wide, or are we just getting like a
I think it goes quote unquote wide, but I don't think it's going like wide.
wide?
You know,
Okay.
like we're in a city, so we're getting it. One of those.
I think I'm going to go. I'm gonna go Hard Eyes. Opens number 1.
Okay.
No. Yes. Then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Dogman with a strong hold in number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What did the number 3 movie make this past weekend?
6.3 million.
I'm gonna go Love Hurts. I think it's gonna open above that, and then I'm gonna go One of Them Days, and fuck it, I'm gonna go I'm Still Here. I think that
Okay.
it may get a little bit of enough of a bump for being Oscar nominated that maybe it gets people out into the theaters out of interest there, and see if it gets what is it, Flight Risk? Was that number 5?
Yeah.
See if it gets Flight Risk out of there.
Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I've already blocked out what your picks were, so if my picks are the same, I apologize. I'm gonna go Hard Eyes number 1, Dogman number 2, Companion number 3, One of Them Days number 4, and Love Hurts number 5.
I'm just realizing now that I have forgotten that Companion is currently in theaters. But I'm in there and I am committed, and this is where we're at.
No, I can let you mix one up if you want.
I'm gonna put Companion in number 5 above I'm Still Here.
Okay.
I think that's what we're gonna.
There you go. There you go. And before we sign off, we got another message from the Colonel here. Besides the Marvel and DC movies, what upcoming movies are you looking forward to? Ooh, Sinners,
man.
dude.
Oh,
I cannot
Ryan
wait
Coogler.
for Sinners. I cannot wait for Mickey 17. I'm
Very
excited for
Mickey
both of
17.
those.
Honestly,
Yes.
the monkey.
The monkey, I'm excited for the
Osgood
monkey as
Perkins
well.
movie.
Yep.
Very excited for that.
Looks really
Oh my
fun.
god! I mean, Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning.
Yes.
That's gonna be up
100%
there.
yes.
That's a big one.
Yes. Avatar 3, I'm excited for. That's in
Avatar
December,
3.
but it's still this year.
That's a long haul. Yeah, I think looking just quick in the next few months. The Accountant
2. Oh my God.
How
I
could we
love
forget
that
about The
movie
Accountant 2?
more. I think you and I love that movie more than everyone who's seen it. And there are people who really like it. I think that movie's fantastic. Not just good. I think that movie's fantastic. And
Big fan
I
of
cannot
it.
wait. I cannot wait for the second one. I'm so excited.
That's gonna be a good one.
Yes, it will. I hope. If it's bad, I'll be really upset.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other more off the top of my head right now. Of course, now when we end the stream, there's going to be so many. I'm like, oh, shit, I forgot to... Oh, Ballerina. I'm excited for Ballerina.
10 of Thieves 2 Bent. I just looked up 2025 movies.
Of course,
I
Den
know
of
that
Thieves
one.
2 comes
I
out
know that
first.
one's already out. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Mickey 17. I think we kind of hit it on the head with that one. Oh, no, no. Are you kidding me? A Working Man, the new Jason Statham, David
Oh,
Ayer
dude,
movie.
dude, I can't wait for
Absolutely
that.
that one. Are you kidding me? I'm so fucking amped for that movie. The
Uh,
Beekeeper was so good.
dude,
Beekeeper Hive, wake up, man. We're getting Working Man.
give me Jason Statham 84. I'm in. I'm in. I'm in
Oh man.
so much. Oh, no, we lost Nick right at the end. I will get him back. I will make sure that he gets to say goodbye on the stream. We're holding out for Nick to return. Come on, there he is. Come back.
I don't know what happened there. I
You
missed you
know,
all.
it be like that sometimes. It really be like that.
Movie
Oh
chat,
my God,
no
Lewis.
excitement through. I have not seen Paddington 2, so
Lewis or Luis. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. How right you are. Paddington in Peru is a must. It's a must see. I can't wait. And that comes out soon. Oh my God, it comes out the same weekend as Captain America, doesn't it? Oh, dude. All right, it's gonna get real on the live here for a second, Nicholas. I got fucking so much going on, dude. I'm so tired. I'm pushing 30. I'm gaining weight. What the fuck, man? This shit needs to slow down. I need to take a week off work. Just fucking relax.
just for
I'm dying.
I need to shift into Paddington and Peru mode.
Oh yes. Oh, that movie's gonna make me so happy about life, and I don't know if I'm ready for that right now.
Yeah, it does look like a fun year ahead. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yes, it does. And guys, with that, we've had so much fun on the stream with you today. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we'll be back on Friday for another show. Make sure you're there for that. We also have some movie reviews coming up. We see I'm Still Here this weekend, and we'll likely have a review up for you for that. And unless anything major happens, we might do another live. But for now, it'll just be on Friday. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.